Hi everybody. Today we are going to be working on section 12.6 from our textbook, second to the last section of our class. And section 12.6 is all about spheres. So we're going to cover both surface area and volume today for spheres. Alright, so try to keep those two things separate. I can tell you right now though that the most important part of working with spheres is your ability to find the radius. Alright, so whether it's a straightforward problem where you're given the radius or maybe the diameter, or one that's a little more complicated where you're going to have to work to find that needs to be your first important job is, do I know what the radius is? Alright, you're going to see in the formulas in just a second why that's so important. So, speaking of the formulas, here they are. We've got a surface area formula and we have a volume formula. I apologize, my pen on my smartboard is not working very well right now, so it'll get better here in just a second. Alright, so surface area formula is 4 times pi times the radius squared. Again, that's 4 pi r squared. You might think about how you're going to keep that straight in your brain. How am I going to remember that formula? Okay. The volume formula, kind of similar. 4 times pi times the radius cubed, all divided by 3. Alright? So the way I keep these straight, area is always labeled in units squared, so that's why there's a squared in my surface area formula. Volume, same way, is always labeled in units cubed, so that's why there's a cubed in my volume formula. Make sure you don't forget to divide by 3 with the volume. It's very easy to forget that. I do that occasionally. Alright? So we're going to get right into our example problems. I'm going to put 3 example problems up here on the board right now. The first one is pretty straightforward. Alright, just find the surface area and the volume. The second and the third one, you're going to have to work with what I give you, work backwards, find your radius, and then find what you're asked for. Alright, at this point I'd like you to push pause and work through these 3 problems. Alright, so hopefully you got this for your first answer. Alright, the surface area, pretty straightforward. Plug your radius in, make sure you do your squaring first. There's your answer. Same thing for your volume. There's your answers for that. Here's your work for your second problem. Okay, you notice that I worked backwards and solve for my radius, and then once I had my radius I plugged it back in and worked through this to find my volume. Alright, if you need to push pause and kind of look at my work here, that's fine as well. Alright, and now we'll look at the third one. Again, here's my work to solve for the radius. Multiply both sides by 3, divided by 4 pi. At this point right here, remember, cube root undoes cubing. Alright, you can find that on your graphing calculators under the math menu, or if you have the universal root key on your other calculators. Once I have my radius, I plugged it into my surface area formula and found my surface area. Again, if you need to push pause or you need to go back and look at this again, you can always do that on the video as well. Alright? Okay, so last part of our video today, I'm going to give you a problem to do. This is your first problem for your homework tonight. So I'd like you to try this first before you get to the book work. What you have is a cylinder, and then attached to the cylinder is a hemisphere. Hemisphere is a half a sphere. Alright? You know that the height of the cylinder is 12 centimeters. And you know that the diameter of the cylinder, I'm going to draw it over here, the diameter of the cylinder is 10 centimeters. I want you to find both the surface area and the volume of this object, however you want to describe it. So this is problem number 1 for your homework. We will start class tomorrow with a discussion of this. By all means, you can talk to one of your classmates right now and kind of work through it with them as well. Talk to them, compare answers. Here's the rest of your homework assignment. It's on page 842. I'd like you to do problems 3 through 23, but I'd like you to skip problem number 11. See you tomorrow.